High in the unforgiving Scottish Highlands, three mountaineers set out to conquer the region's highest and most dangerous peak. The air is thin, the winds are fierce, and the cliffs demand focus. One wrong move could mean the end. As they climb higher, the tension builds, and then disaster strikes. One of them slips, his footing giving way on the crumbling rock. For a breathless moment, he hangs in the void, saved only by the taut safety rope and the quick actions of his friends. Relief washes over them, but the danger is far from over. So grab your seats, because today we're diving into a nail-biting story filled with unexpected twists, chilling suspense, and heart-pounding action. This is A Lonely Place to Die, a movie that will keep you glued to the screen until the very end. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss what happens next. After hours of grueling effort and climbing the harsh mountain, they finally reached the summit and began their descent. On the way down, Alison told Ed, "Don't let your concentration slip again. If you want to climb with me, you need to step up your game. Complacency can be dangerous. We got lucky this time." Later, they arrived at a weathered cottage near the peak, where they met their two friends, Jenny and Alex, who had been waiting for them. The group was now 5 strong, sharing laughter, playing cards, and telling stories as they settled in for the night. Alison was drawn to a picture of Eiger Mountain on the wall, which Rob noticed. He told her, "Stick with me, and we'll climb that this time next year." Alison replied, "Yeah, let's do it via the north face. It has killed 70 people. If you fall from the summit, it'll take 30 seconds to hit the ground and 30 seconds to reflect on your life, saying your goodbyes, fully conscious the whole way down." The next morning, the group wakes up to bad weather. Their original plan to climb further is no longer safe, so they decide to take the North Ridge instead, a safer route that leads through a dense forest below. As they walk carefully through the tall trees, the forest feels quiet and unsettling. While they stop to rest, Ed decides to walk ahead. Suddenly, he hears a scream coming from far away. The sound is strange and chilling. Ed calls for the others to come quickly. Alison is the first to join him. She asks, "What is it?" Ed says, "Listen." Alison hears the same scream and fear fills her. No one else is supposed to be on the mountain. The rest of the group arrives and they all hear the scream. Alison slowly starts walking toward the sound. She notices something unusual, a small tube sticking out of the ground. Rob looks at it and says, "That's a breathing tube. Someone is down there." Rob quickly runs to get their digging tools, while Alison leans down to the tube and nervously calls.
Hello?
Alison is horrified, but they know they have to act fast. The group works together, digging as fast as they can. After a lot of effort, they uncover something shocking. A young, frightened Serbian girl named Anna, buried alive in a small underground chamber. Who buried her and why? The answer will lead them into a nightmare they never imagined. Even after rescuing the little girl, the group still doesn't know what happened. The girl, frightened and unable to speak English, can't explain her situation. The only thing they're sure of is that someone buried her, and they need to leave immediately before those people return. Rob suggests they head to a nearby village 30 miles away. He explains that the group should stick to a clear route so rescuers can find them. To save time, Rob and Alison decide to take a faster but much riskier path. This shortcut includes passing the Devil's Drop, a terrifying 500-foot cliff face. If they succeed, it will leave them only 4 miles to the village, where they can alert the police and send help for the rest of the group. With the plan set, the group splits up. Rob and Alison start running through the dense forest, their minds filled with questions about the girl and the danger surrounding them. After covering about 2 miles, they reach the Devil's Drop. The sight of the sheer cliff is enough to make anyone hesitate, but there's no time to waste. Alison decides to go first. She descends carefully, relying on her safety rope. Halfway down, the rope ends, and she has to continue using just her hands, feet, and knees to climb down the jagged rock. Her focus is intense as she makes slow, steady progress. Rob begins his descent next, but while descending, Alison watches in horror as Rob falls to his death. Frozen with fear, Alison finds herself stuck midway down the cliff with no rope and no one to help. She knows one wrong move could cost her life too. Summoning all her courage, she continues to climb down the harsh, jagged cliff. But disaster isn't far away. Stones begin to fall from above, and one strikes her hard, knocking her off the cliff. She plunges into the freezing water below. Miraculously, Alison survives, but when she drags herself out of the water, she collapses and loses consciousness. When she wakes, she finds herself trapped in a small underground chamber, the same kind where Anna was buried. Panic sets in as she screams for help, but soon she realizes it's all a hallucination caused by fear. Shaken, she mourns over Rob's loss, only to discover something terrifying. The rope wasn't an accident. It had been deliberately cut. Now fully aware of the threat they're facing, Alison knows she must warn her friends. She starts running through the forest, determined to reach them before it's too late. Meanwhile, the movie shifts to two men holding guns, seemingly out hunting. Their plans are interrupted when two other men appear, warning them that it's not the right time for hunting. A heated argument breaks out, and it ends with the two hunters being killed. But who are these men? Why are they here? The movie keeps the answers hidden, leaving us in suspense. Elsewhere, a group of 3 people is seen driving toward Annanmore village, the same destination Alison and her friends are trying to reach. Their intentions remain unclear, adding more mystery to the story. Back in the forest, Alison, scared and alone, runs as fast as she can, desperate to find her friends. After some time, she finally reaches them and tries to warn them that Rob has been murdered. His rope was cut on purpose. At first, the sound of the rushing river drowns her voice, but through her gestures and desperation, they finally understand the horrifying truth. Rob is no more, and they are in grave danger. Everyone is shocked by the tragic news and frozen in disbelief, unsure of what to do. Suddenly, Jenny gets shot and falls into the river, pulling Anna with her. The group chases after them as Kid, the main antagonist, takes aim and fires. A bullet grazes Alison, causing her to fall into the river as well. Jenny is gone, but Alison manages to save Anna by pulling her out of the water. Later, the group regroups, trying to stay ahead of their pursuers. Kid and his accomplice McRae continue their relentless chase. Alex runs, carrying Anna, but Kid and McRae follow closely, shooting at him. Moments later, Alex is seemingly shot down, but it turns out he is only holding Anna's clothes stuffed with leaves to mislead the kidnappers. The group realizes they are being hunted one by one, still clueless about the kidnappers' motives. The truth soon comes to light. Anna had been kidnapped by Kid and McRae, who demanded €6 million from her father, a wealthy businessman, in exchange for her release. Among Anna's rescuers are 2 undercover police officers, and Darko, her father's trusted associate. They drives to Annanmore village to negotiate the exchange. Meanwhile, Kid and McRae, having lost track of Anna, argue about their next steps. McRae tells Kid, "You do it your way, I'll do mine." Alison, Ed, and Anna traverse a long stretch of jungle and finally reach a road. They eventually arrive at the village and report the kidnapping and murders at the police station. The officer informs them that he has contacted headquarters and his colleagues will come soon. Ed grows suspicious, believing that the officer might be connected to the kidnappers. He urges Alison to leave. Just as they are about to go, the officer calls them to stop and says they are free to leave but cannot take Anna with them. At that moment, the officer is also shot by McRae. As they escape from the police station in search of a hiding place, one of the underground operatives mistakenly believes that Alison and Ed have kidnapped Anna and shoots Ed. McRae appears and shoots the operative, then continues chasing Alison and Anna. Elsewhere, Darko meets Kid, demanding to see Anna before handing over the money. Kid refuses, making Darko suspicious. Meanwhile, the injured operative informs Darko that the group does not have Anna. In the ensuing chaos, Kid is badly injured, but escapes with the ransom money. Alison and Anna, desperate for safety, knock on doors for help. A man opens the door and they run inside. McRae arrives, chasing them, and kills the homeowner and locks the door. Ruthless as ever, McRae corners them upstairs. Alison tries to fight back but is overpowered and knocked unconscious. Just as McRae is about to capture Anna, Alison regains consciousness, hits him from behind, and throws him out of a window to his death. Struggling to stand, Alison ensures Anna's safety by dropping her onto a pile of plants below. However, Alison loses consciousness due to smoke inhalation, but is soon rescued and taken to the ambulance, where she joins Anna for the drive to the hospital. Meanwhile, Kid, gravely injured, tries to flee but is caught by the underground operative. Later, Darko delivers Kid to Anna's father in the jungle, who exacts a brutal revenge by burying Kid alive. Alison's friends showed remarkable bravery, making the ultimate sacrifice to save the little girl in her time of need. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling movie summaries. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next recap.